Welcome to our presentation on Salesforce.com for Reference Labs. In the next few minutes, I'd like to walk through some of the big ideas behind what we're doing with Reference Lab for Salesforce.com, as well as do a very quick demo to give you an idea of how the tool works. The first thing we wanted to address is what were we trying to accomplish by creating this app inside of Salesforce.com. Number one, we wanted to make it super simple to understand customer trends, meaning we really want to tell a story so that sales reps don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about where a customer is going, but they can actually look in Salesforce and see instantaneously whether a customer is trending up or down. Secondly, we wanted to make Salesforce.com super useful for reps. Salesforce.com is the industry leader in CRM solutions. So we wanted to take all of the things that are powerful about Salesforce and then make it very, very easy for reps that sell Reference Lab and lab services. Additionally, we wanted reps to be able to immediately see problem areas as well as immediately see opportunities. And finally, we wanted to give reps tools that help them be business owners in their territory. Okay, let's go ahead and take a deeper dive into Salesforce.com for Reference Lab. One of the first things you'll notice if you're somewhat familiar with Salesforce is I've logged into Salesforce and I am in what's called the Salesforce homepage. Now the first thing you'll notice is a set of dashboards that gives me an overview of what's happening in my territory. Now this tells a really good story of what's happening in my territory, but this is a simplified dashboard, and if I want to see more detail I can actually click into my dashboards. Now I'm logged in right now as a sales rep, and so the first thing I see is what's happening in my territory. And so this shows me my top 10 decliners. And in this example, I'm showing it by year to date, which means this year, this account has declined more than it had last year, and these are my top 10 decliners. Now, what's nice about Salesforce dashboards is I can drill down into these records and I can see the details. So now I can not only see my top 10 decliners, but then I can see my entire list of accounts sorted from the biggest decliners to the biggest growers. Now, one of the things you'll notice in other parts of the app is that we color code things with basic colors. Red bad and green is good. So in this example, because I'm looking at my top decliners, obviously my biggest losing customers are at the top. Now, what's nice about this is that this gives me an overview of the customer, but if I want to really know more about this particular account, I can simply drill into the account and I can see what's happening specifically with this company. Now, in this particular case, I have a sales metrics section, which just kind of gives me an overview of the account. But I know that I'm declining, but I don't know why. And so I can drill down a little bit further into test families and see that I'm holding ground in anatomic pathology. I've lost a little bit of ground in blood bank and chemistry, and I've actually gained a little bit of ground in reference lab. But obviously I'm losing more in blood and chemistry than I am in my other areas of my business. And so this immediately begins to inform, as a sales rep, me as a sales rep, on what I need to do to perform better in this account. And this immediately translates into questions that I may ask this customer and things that I need to follow up on when I'm planning my territory. So the big idea with Reference Lab is, like we said at the beginning, to really give sales reps visibility into what's happening into their accounts. Now, in addition to that, if I want to plan my sales plan or I want to follow up with that, I have all the standard capabilities that are in Salesforce in terms of tracking my notes, recording what I've talked about, what things I may have shared with the physician when I was there last. I have all of that standard capability of Salesforce combined, obviously, with more information. Now, you may be asking, how does all of this information get from my LIS system or my laboratory information system into Salesforce.com? Well, one thing I want to show you is if you look down here, you'll see that I have my test families with all of my roll-ups or calculations that show the trends. And then I have what are called test details. So the secret to this integration with Salesforce and Reference Lab is the ability to bring in the individual test results without obviously violating HIPAA. So the way that we do that is we leverage the existing capability in your LIS system, and it doesn't matter what LIS system you have, by the way. We leverage whatever export capabilities that system has to automatically extract the data on a daily basis generally, and then automatically bring those test details into Salesforce. So in the following screen, I have a sample record or example of the data that comes out of an LIS system. And the main things you need to have are some kind of way of identifying your customer, which your LIS system has, obviously the date that the test took place, any test identifiers, so if it's a unique name or if it's a test number or test family, that kind of information, and then an individual transaction for each test that took place. That's the main information that we need, and from that foundation we can roll up all the other details. So we can roll up by test family, we can roll up by test, we can roll up by account, we can roll up by territory, we can roll up by organization. And that's the secret to be able to bring all this data into Salesforce in one place so that they have access to it. One other question I often receive from clients is they often say that they already have reports that give them this information. And that's obviously very, very true. In fact, we're using many of those reports to get that data into Salesforce. But the main advantage of having all this information in Salesforce is this is where the rep manages his or her business. And so I have all the information about the contacts and the relationships that I have with individual physicians. I have information that gives me not every detail I need, but a basic picture and basic trend of what's happening with my customer. And it gives me the ability to manage it in one place, whether I'm on my computer or on my tablet or on my smartphone. And that's the big idea behind Salesforce and Reference Labs. So that's a quick overview of what the rep sees, but let me talk just real quickly before we close on what the executives see. So this is really nice from a rep point of view, but if I'm an executive, I not only want to see top 10 decliners for individual reps, but I also want to see how my reps are performing. So obviously, as a sales manager or an executive in your organization, you have the same kind of data that your sales reps have, but you have the ability to roll it up. So again, we have the ability to look at top decliners across my entire list of reps, my top growers, etc. I can also look at the number of tests or the amount of growth by rep, as well as the increase or the decrease by reps. So the whole point is to take all of the benefits and power of Salesforce and really give you that one piece that might be in a separate report or might be in some other system, and bring it all together in one place so the reps can now see how their business is performing, and they can manage all of it in the same place that they manage all their other information. In summary, thank you for your time today and watching this quick video on Salesforce.com for Reference Labs. We'd be very interested in helping you evaluate this tool by offering a free evaluation, as well as free data conversion from any existing system, whether that's Microsoft CRM, Sugar CRM, ACT, and/or Excel and other systems. Finally, if you'd like to schedule a call to talk through Reference Labs and how it works with Salesforce, here's a link to my calendar as well as my email address, and you can certainly call me directly. Thank you.